Hello, Aman.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. What about you?
I'm good, sir. I'm doing good.
Okay, great.
So I'm basically, hi, my name is Aman, and I'm a St. Joseph's College graduate. I've done a BSc Computer Science course. And after that, when I did my research on the market requirements, I figured out that I need to work on my skills more. So I enrolled in a Cryos bootcamp, which is an extensive training for software engineers, where I learned uh, every concept using hands-on experience, building projects, and then I'm actively looking for roles in front end and even back end roles. So my major learning comes from my project building part, because since I don't have
Currently,
any
you
real
are in
industry exposure.
currently you are in college or what you are doing?
No, sir, I've graduated in 2023.
Okay, so right now
Yeah.
you are doing job.
No, sir, I'm actually a fresher.
Okay, you are fresher. Okay, so
Yeah,
you are looking for job, right?
I am, sir. Yes.
Okay, so okay, Aman. So we will start with the JavaScript part. So first of all, I will clear you like in this video, we are taking interview only for the front end part. Okay,
Right, sir.
so first of all, we can start with the JavaScript part.
Sure, sir.
So first of all, tell me what is the difference between where, let, and const in JavaScript?
Right, sir. So where was the most used variable declaration before ES6? So the problem with where was memory leakage. So where only respected function scope, whereas let and const were introduced after ES6. So the good part about them is they don't leak memory, and whatever we declare using var is initialized with undefined initially. The main difference between them is the hoisting part, where var is initialized with undefined, and let and const go to the temporal dead zone. So even if it's defined in the scope, we can't use it before initializing a value to them.
Okay. And what is the closures in JavaScript?
Right, sir. So closures are basically when a function remembers its parent's lexical scope even after the outer function is done executing. So this is the theory, but a very good example can be when we use debouncing. So we use a timer ID in the outer scope, which the inner return function closes on. So it remembers the variable, even if the outer function is done executing.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So what is hoisting in JavaScript?
Okay, so the hosting is a phenomenon in JavaScript where all the declarations, the variables, the functions move to their respective top of their respective scopes.
Okay.
So variables and functions behave differently in hoisting. So variables are just the declarations are hoisted, whereas for where the value is also hoisted. But in case of functions, the entire body of the function is hoisted, starting from declaration to function definition.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what is the difference between double equal to and triple equal to?
Right, sir. So double equals to is type coercion. It first converts the type and then checks, compares the value. So if I write 2 and double equals to string 2, then they are equal because the 2 integer is converted to string before the values are checked. Whereas the triple equals to is strict coercion. It compares the data type as well.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what is event loop in JavaScript?
Right, sir. So event loop is a mechanism that manages events in JavaScript. So it's in the runtime. It's like a manager for the tasks. So there we know that JavaScript is single threaded, right? So it has one call stack and one memory heap. So if there are functions like network calls which take time to be completed, we don't want to block the main thread, right?
Mhm.
So what happens is these are taken care by the web API. So they are sent to the web API, and then they are further processed. The callback is sent to queues. There are two types of queues: macro task queue and micro task queue. So micro tasks queue is reserved for promises dot then, a high priority task. That's why some people call it priority queue as well. The event loop manages which task will be pushed to call stack. So the event task keeps monitoring the call stack. When the call stack is empty, it completely empties the micro task queue and then checks for one macro task queue and again checks for micro task queue. So it manages how the events go through the call stack.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And what is the difference between null and undefined?
Right, sir. So null is basically an intentional absence of value. We intentionally assign null to a variable as a developer, whereas undefined is a data type in JavaScript, and it is when we declare a variable, but we don't assign a value to it. So it's initially undefined.
Okay. And what are the promises?
Right, sir. So promises is a way JavaScript handles asynchronous tasks like network calls and stuff. So in simple words, promise is an object which represents a future completion of a value. It has three states: pending, fulfilled, and rejected.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what is the difference between callback, promises, and async await?
Right, sir. So in the earlier versions, we used to use callbacks for asynchronous tasks. So one callback after the other, one task is finished, then we call another function. When that function is done executing, we call another function. But this grows horizontally, and it becomes very messy to read and maintain. So this led to promises, which definitely solved the maintainability and readability of the code. And as I described the promises, now async await is just a syntactic sugar. It's a better way of writing promises because under the hood, it's working just like promises. But to us developers, it just gives a better syntax of writing them. And it also uses await, which appears to have blocked the execution line by line. So when an await is hit, the line stops there inside the asynchronous function. And when the value is computed, when the work is done, then the execution moves to the next line. But the asynchronous function itself doesn't block the main thread.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the difference between map, filter, and reduce?
Right, sir. So map, filter, and reduce are different array methods in JavaScript. So map and filter give us a new array after whatever they're done doing, whereas reduce gives mutates the original array. So being more specific, map basically calls a callback on every element inside the array and returns a new array of the same size. Whereas filter also passes a callback for every element. If the element passes the condition, then they are pushed to the new array. So it's like filtering as per the conditions.
Okay. And what is debouncing and throttling in JavaScript?
Right. So they are two different optimization methods. So for example, if we're making a network call where if a user types something in the search box and we have to make a network call regarding that. So if a user types phone, PHONE, which is 5 letters, so we don't want to make 5 network calls. So it's used to limit the number of network calls. So what debouncing does is it waits for the user to make the last event, and after a certain delay, we make the network call. So every time a user makes a new action, the timer is reset.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about throttling?
Yeah, right. So throttling, what it does is it limits the rate. So if we specify that make this network call once in 5 seconds. So no matter how many times a user makes that call, it will only be registered once in 5 seconds.
Okay.
Or maybe 1 second, whatever the user wants. Yeah.
Okay. Aman, can you please share your screen? I'm giving you one question in your chat box.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So I'll use an online compiler if you.
Yeah, open any JS compiler. Actually, we don't want any coding. I'm just giving you only the example. Okay.
Fine, sir.
Okay. Can you please check your chat box? I'm giving you one question. Don't run this question. Only just copy and paste in your compiler.
Sure, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you please tell me the output of this code?
Right, sir. So I'm looking at a console log, which is a synchronous code. And then there's a set timeout. So set timeout is a web API. So it registers a callback. Okay. And it has a delay of 0 seconds. So all the synchronous code is run first at highest priority. So first start will be printed, then end will be printed. And after that, the event loop checks for the registered callback, which is inside timeout. Even though it's specified as 0 second, but it's still a callback that is being registered in the event queue. So start, end, and then inside timeout.
Okay, great. Now run, you can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. And wait, I'm giving you one more question. Yeah, please check.
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
Yeah, please tell me the output of this code.
Right, sir. So it's a similar type of code. There are two set timeouts with 0 seconds delay, but then the execution order also matters. So it'll be start, end. Sorry about this. Start.
I think you have not copied properly. Wait.
Oh, 1 second. I'll just clear this and then copy the code properly. Yeah. Sorry about that, sir.
Okay, no.
Yeah. Okay. It's promise.resolve.then. This goes into the micro task queue. So first of all, all the synchronous codes will run line by line, top to bottom, which will be A and then D. And then since promise.resolve.then goes into the micro task, then B will print first and then C. So it'll be like A, D, B, and then C.
Okay, now you can run.
Right, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, correct. Okay. And last question. Yeah, you can check your chat box.
Right, sir. Okay, this is a good question, sir. I'm okay, for some reason not able to copy this. Okay. Right.
So what will be the output of this?
Okay, so normally when we use a for loop, we use declaration using let because it's block scoped. But when we use var, it's function scope, so it doesn't respect the block scope. So what happens is since set timeout is a callback that is being registered to the web API, what happens is it closes on the same value. So when var is incremented to 2, and then 1 plus I plus plus runs again. So 3, when I becomes 3, the set timeout closes on this value for all the iterations.
Okay.
Yeah. So for after every 1 second delay, 333 will be printed. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 3333 will be printed, sir.
Okay. Great. Yeah. And if I want to execute like 0, 1, 2, then we need to use where I mean let, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay. So now we can move to the ReactJS part.
Right, sir.
First of all, tell me what is ReactJS?
React is a single page application component based UI library designed by Facebook. So its main intention is optimizing how a web page reacts. So every time in a simple vanilla JavaScript page, whenever something changes, the entire HTML is loaded again, which isn't good for the DOM. So to optimize that, React uses something called the reconciliation process.
Okay.
Where it keeps a lightweight copy of the original DOM, which is called the virtual DOM tree. And then it compares the previous virtual DOM to the new virtual DOM and only makes the changes that is required.
Okay.
Yeah.
And behind the scene reconciliation, which algorithm is used?
I think some tree algorithm, sir, because DOM is in the form of tree. I'm not very sure about this one, but I'll definitely check into it.
No worry. And what is the difference between functional component and the class component?
Yes, sir, sure, sir. So earlier we used to use the class components in React, where we used to use this for the state management in a form of object. And then we used to use lifecycle methods such as component did mount, component did update, and component will mount.
Okay.
Yeah. So it had too much boilerplate code and it was not as simple compared to the functional React components. So that's why functional components were introduced. So what they do is they use hooks, which are very powerful functions to manage state and update the state methods and all the stuff. So it uses useEffect hook for the component lifecycle method. It just mimics it just as the component lifecycle methods in classical React.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are the hooks in React?
So React uses multiple hooks like useState hook to declare and mutate a state locally. It uses useEffect to mimic the component lifecycle methods. That takes a callback and a dependency array. And then there are multiple optimization hooks like useMemo, useCallback, which are used to memoize values for optimizing re-rendering.
Okay. And what is the difference between useState, useReducer?
Yes, sir. So useState is used to manage simple states, whereas useReducer is used to manage complex states. So what happens is inside the useReducer is React stores state in fiber hook list. So what happens is it uses a reducer function.
Okay.
So when we call a dispatch action on it, it calls that reducer function where the switch cases are written, and then React schedules an update. So it's a very structured way of managing the state, unlike the useState where we can do anything we want with the state.
Okay.
Yeah.
And explain me what is the difference between use layout effect and use effect?
Right, sir. So they both are used for side effects on the React page. So, but the main difference is the use layout effect blocks the main execution. So what happens is it blocks the UI from painting. So it runs first and then the UI is painted, whereas use effect runs asynchronously. It first lets the UI paint and then runs the side effects on it. So for example, when we're doing heavy computation or making network calls like fetch request, so we tend to use it inside use effect because they are non-blocking.
Okay. And what is prop drilling in React.js?
Yeah. So prop drilling is a way how components pass data inside other components.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so in React, we can pass like from parent to child via props.
Yes.
Let's suppose we need to pass the child to parent, then how we can do?
If we need to pass from child to parent, the way is to lift the state up, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So explain me like what is lifting state up?
Right, sir. So for example, if I have two children components inside a parent component, and these two children need the same state, or let's say even the parent needs the state. So what we do is we lift the state to the parent, because that's how parent can also use it, and both the children components can use it via props.
Okay.
So the state must live where it's required.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how we can like define the custom hooks in React.js?
Yes, sir. So we can make custom hooks using use initials. So we can make our own custom hooks. For example, what I have used as a custom hook is a custom hook that sets the local storage values and clears it in my project.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what are the control and uncontrolled component?
Right, sir. So I'll take the form component as an example. So a component has a form, and it also has a state that manages the form's data. So this is a control component because React is managing the form's state. But if there is a form that uses use ref. So inside the input, I've given an attribute ref, input ref, and the value is being read from the DOM itself when the user inputs some value, and it's not causing any state re-render.
Okay.
Now React is not controlling the state, right? So it's an uncontrolled component.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in your React project, like how you are managing the state?
So since I've been making full stack projects, which are comparatively bigger in size, so I use a state management library for that, Redux.
Okay. And
Yes, sir.
What about context API?
A context API is basically built-in state management for React itself. It somewhat behaves similar to state management library, where I maybe make a context provider and then components subscribe to it for the data.
So like when we need to use context API and when we need to use Redux?
Right, sir. So I'll tell according to my use case, sir. So I also made a light and a dark theme inside my project.
Okay.
Right. So I wanted my entire app component to use that state. So I created a context API where the provider was, the app was wrapped inside the provider and the value was given dark or light. So that's how the entire app component, my entire project can access that state using the provider.
Okay.
Yes. And the state management library, Redux for an example, has a better control over the state management. So it's more precise and fine grained. So the main difference is when we wrap some component inside a provider, context provider, every component that has subscribed to the provider will re-render if the value changes. Now, for example, we are giving multiple state values like user data, theme, cart data. Then even if cart data changes and there are components that are not using the cart data, they're just using the user data, will also re-render because they have subscribed to this provider. But
Okay.
this doesn't happen in a state management library. It's more precise. So it checks whether the component has used this specific data and it has changed or not.
Okay, so you mean if there is any large project, then we can use
Yes,
Redux, and small project like theme change and the country वगैरह change, then we can use like context API.
absolutely, sir.
Okay. So in React, like how we can like improve the performance, like how we can optimize the performance.
Yes, sir. So React uses memoization for optimization. First, we need to use a dev tool to see how our components are behaving, how often they are re-rendering, and what is the time that they're taking for that. We need to memoize things so that they don't cause unnecessary re-renders. We need to keep a track of our states, memoize components every here and there.
Okay.
Use callback hook.
Okay. So
Yeah.
explain me the difference between use memo and use callback.
Right, sir. So there are two hooks used for memoization in React. The use memo is basically it's used to memorize a value. For example, a heavy computation, math computation. So we can memorize the value so that because when a re-render happens, everything that has been declared inside every function, every computation is done again. So we don't want this heavy computation to be calculated again for the same value. So we will keep a memoized value of it using use memo. And this only changes when the dependency changes. For example, if I give value as a dependency is use memo. So when the value changes, then this computation happens again, not otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And use callback is used to just memorize the function's reference because we don't want to, when even if the function or object are same, when redeclared, the reference changes, right? So React thinks that, oh, the reference changed, so the value changed, let's re-render.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you one more question in your chat box.
Right, sir.
Yeah, you can check. Yeah, so what you need to do, you need to create one function, and that function take one string as an argument, and
Yeah.
you need to print out like the character count.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes.
Okay.
Character count. Okay. Got it, sir. Okay. So what I can do is I can use a hash map. So I'll just take this character as
Okay.
name. So I'll take the same example, right? And then I'll not use, okay, wait, use for let character of name. What I'll do is I'll also create a hash map. So let map is equals to, I'll just make can I use a map data structure or just object?
You can use like, but not use any pre-built method, like predefined method.
Right, okay. So I'll just use a map for sure. So for every character, I'll check if the map has that character. So then I'll just increment its code. I'll just map dot character is equals to map of character plus 1. Else I can just insert it in the value. Right, sir? Yeah. So I can just log map. Just have a look. I'll just try to debug it if there is an error. Yeah. Because I normally use a map data structure. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can run.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, understood. Okay, Aman, I think that's all from my side. If you have any question, you can ask me.
Right, sir. So I would just like to get a review on how did you find my answers.
Like you have given like very good answer. Actually, in
Right.
React and in JavaScript,
Yes, sir.
we can consider if the like fresher or experienced person, the question was same. Okay.
Right, sir.
Only we want the like the how the candidate give the answer. if the like fresher give the answer, then we can consider like only the definition. And if we're taking the interview for the like experienced person, then we want like this candidate need to be give the answer in very depth, and if
Right, sir.
they have already built their like functionality, let's example closer you told me, like in
Right,
the
sir.
bouncing you use, so this kind of answer like it very good. So overall good, and we can schedule your second round for the coding round if you like, if you want to like part of this round, then you can tell me.
Yeah, sir. That would be great, sir.
Okay, so we can consider like next Saturday or Sunday if you available, then we can schedule
Yeah,
your
sure.
next round.
Sure, sir. That sounds right.
Yeah, like overall good. Oh, nice to meet you. We
Nice to
can
meet you too,
connect
sir.
the next weekend. Okay.
Sure, sir. I'll be looking forward to that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Goodbye.
you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.